Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another
mind?
fucking...
Hold on.
Wait, what?
I'm just having a sip.
Oh, listen, you're not sophisticated because you brought this very classic 70s, late
Pico.
60s teapot through, but there's a layer of dust on it, or is that just where it's scored?
Patina.
Patina, you call it. Oh, it's dust. It's dust.
It's patina.
Oh my God. It's all the sawdust from building this
It's a
place.
working studio.
And your tea can be described as a liquid. It looks like looking at a galaxy.
Well, I was using some powdered milk, but I didn't think powdered milk could go off, but mine has.
It's disgusting. You're still drinking it though.
Of course I have.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
Hope it's
another...
not-
What?
I had some other powders in that cupboard.
Another folk in Scotland. Oh, return. I've been away all weekend.
You've never come back. You were away
Yesterday.
many years ago.
I was exhausted, dude. That was...
Come on, you're just...
Wait a minute. 24 hours standing. It didn't sit once.
I stand all the time. My work, I
24
never sit in my job.
What?
I'm on my...
Well, I usually sit in my job and I couldn't... And I've got a wonky leg. It was so bad. I had to
Walking
get my
a
leg
book
brace.
would be good for your leg.
I had to get a leg brace. I wasn't walking. I was
You should
standing
have got one of those...
in a corner.
You should have got one of those chairs. It's like a hunting chair. It's a walking stick.
Oh, there was
seat.
a lot of them going around.
Tell you about.
The amount of tweed. There's children in Africa that can't wear tweed right now because of the amount of tweed that was at the
Tweed.
Scone.
Well, you know how they
Game
set
fair.
the colour in tweed.
Is it urine?
Urine,
Of
yeah.
course it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I am not familiar with country folk,
Okay.
and no, there's country folk and country folk,
Oh, okay.
and this was country folk.
Country farmers.
When we went in, the first thing you see, oh no, you think it's farmers? No,
Gentry.
no. It's the Bentley stage.
and they're no spending money.
And no, all the cars. They had the Mercedes
having to
G-Wagons.
let their au pairs go.
It was unbelievable. The
I
money.
took a picture of a wank panzer the other day.
Excuse me?
A wank panzer.
Obviously.
4x4s. There's no need for the fucking things for urban living.
That's it.
And the wank panzers can't park. They park in the pavement.
This is very true.
And the police won't do anything about it because police officers kind of like drivers. It's like, yeah. So they're just
This
up.
is because you can't drive.
So this was a car, double yellow lines beside
Right.
the chemist, and he was parked right up in the pavement. You couldn't have got past. Nobody.
It's so
Our lassie
annoying.
at pram couldn't have got past you. To go
And
on the
there's
road.
another problem as well.
Ah,
Cars are getting a lot bigger because they're going electric.
okay.
It's a lot of batteries in there, and
Okay.
they just get bigger and bigger.
But no, but even people, that's what people have said. But these big wank panzers are still heavier than electric cars.
Oh, it's crazy.
But they
Don't like
take
them.
up 2 parking bays. At this stage of humanity, we don't need bigger cars. We need to be getting smaller. Americans, you see their things, they're taller than this.
There's
room.
huge cars. Yeah.
But we don't need that size vehicle in this country. We just don't. But
Plus, we don't have the infrastructure
No,
for it.
No, we,
We
don't.
don't have. The cars have grown
America's
so fast.
America's a road with McDonald's.
Well, yes.
It's not pedestrian land.
It's some wide.
We are a
roads there, yeah.
pedestrian country.
Yes, but even the car parks, they're falling behind their size for the cars that are going in them. So everyone's bumping their doors.
Why does a fucking hair salon
Mm-hmm.
need a gigantic 4x4 as a business vehicle?
That seems to be the common way of it. That's always been the way.
I remember when I was a kid, this woman set up, she was at school with me and she set up a hairdresser business and she had like this Mini Cooper that was all done up in decals and all that decals.
Oh, right.
And everybody, I thought, how cool. I thought, what a prat. But it's gone beyond that now. It's just huge. You see, if a guy showed up at my house, a workman showed up at my house for a job, and he had one of these giant 4x4s, I'd tell him to fuck off. A van has space in it.
Right.
These 4x4s, kind of is a Hilux. Have you seen the big
a
Hilux?
Hilux, yeah.
The space in
They're
the back.
tiny, yeah.
They're no.
They're smaller than a car. There's been some I've been in that I've
Yeah.
felt a bit,
But the
and they're
space
giant.
on the back, there's no space
There's
for
no
it.
space either, yeah. Well,
Ah!
going to this fair,
Ah!
there was the Bentley section, there was
Yeah.
the Mercedes, there was all stuff you couldn't possibly afford. There was one that was tours of Africa and safaris, and people were queuing. And they were just, they went into this fair not thinking about doing a safari in Africa, and then left with a safari.
So they were buying a trip to Africa, but they weren't buying
They
one of
weren't-
your.
Well, we did okay.
Aye.
We did okay. It was just there wasn't a lot of people. That's the
Okay.
truth of it. And the place is so strange.
I blame pop-up shops.
A Golden Eagle just missed me.
Pop-up shops A pop-up shop, there'd be one every 5 years. A pop-up
Yeah.
shop. There'll be 3 pop-up shops within 100 yards of us right
Yes,
now.
I know.
So
this.
it's just gone. It's gone.
I know this.
People are just
It's
money's
been watered down.
Everybody's fun. Toffs on the.
But because I was there all weekend with Susan,
Oh Jesus!
Susan, she walks into this place in Bentleys and Mercedes.
It's like
and
she's
he
there.
said- she's going, "This is me," and I'm going, I feel very out of my depth there. And she's going, "This is me." But then she would go over and talk to people about this pod that could be put in your garden for relaxation and that. And I would shout, "Shut the fuck up! You can't even afford the biscuit. Get away from there."
They'd smell
She was really
poverty.
upset because
Smell
everywhere she
poverty.
went, I was telling everyone how poor she
She
was.
has the look of a scullery maid.
Yes, but she
could
needs to be in
use
the
her-
big house.
No, I tell you what they could use her for in the big house. Those big lums. Put her on the end of a pole, and they could clean out that stewer.
One go.
All that coal dust would be right out.
But it was
Shake
a
her
long
together.
weekend.
Yeah.
Everyone was nice in that, but there
when
was,
I was a kid,
well,
when I was
hold
a
on.
kid, I was thrown out of an agricultural fair because there was the tent that had all kind of. They were like introducing microwaves,
Oh,
remember?
exciting.
and they were showing you could cook stuff in the microwave. So I was having all this free samples, and I overate my limit, so they put me out
Put you out.
because they knew I was like 13. I wasn't going to buy a microwave. It's the first time I tasted that stuff. Remember that stuff that was for sale in the 80s? I don't. Maluba cream or something. It was like Bailey's, but it was African.
Oh, and it had an elephant on it. You
Elephant.
still get it. You still get it.
It
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a big bloody elephant, and they used to give it to you in these tiny little plastic. And I used to, as a child, I'd go around and get one, and then put a hat on and come back and get another one. Go round
Oh my
again.
God.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. what to
Maluba
say about
cream?
it. No, it's
Ebenuba.
I know you're in the right.
It was something like that.
You're in the right.
It tasted delicious. It was a fruit. It's that fruit that elephants get pissed on.
Oh,
You ever
I
seen
can't
that
remember.
footage of the elephants?
wonderful. I like when there's always one rambunctious elephant that goes, "See that fucking tree? It's a prick," and starts knocking it over.
There's
It's a
a-
great time.
I watched a thing about monkeys in this holiday resort,
Okay.
and female monkeys find alcoholic monkeys more attractive. So,
Yeah.
so if the monkeys are getting totally fucked up, the women are like, "What the fuck?" So they're like Dundonians monkeys.
So before I go on about my story over the weekend, I wish to make a proper apology.
To who?
Chris Shadwins.
Oh fuck it.
Oh no! Wait. He sent us a box of something.
More.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it's in the house, and I left it at the door at the kitchen so I wouldn't forget it, and I'm here
You
without
forgot
it. So it will be on the show
Was
on
there,
Friday.
was there a mewling noise coming from
no
it?
rattling. No, I've not opened
No
it. 'cause
breathing.
There was nothing. So no, there was nothing. So I don't know what this one was. but
Plaster cast
I
of
was-
his penis.
I
Was
was
it a
like-
tiny little box?
Tiny box.
Okay, that's
Chris,
right.
thank you very much, but it'll be on the show on Friday. We'll sort
I'd
that out.
imagine Chris
Yeah.
would probably send us a bronze wall clock,
Mhm.
but it was just his sphincter.
Are you asking for that? Be careful.
I'm seeding.
Don't do
I'm seeding
no,
his mind.
No.
Just his
'Cause
giant.
I know what-
Imagine
No,
his giant asshole,
please.
his giant wizard sleeve of an arsehole,
Oh my
but
god!
just this tiny little clock in the middle. We are
You say things because you think you're funny.
picture
If he
this.
sends
Picture
that,
this. On the end of the hands of the clock,
no,
glow in the dark sweet corn.
I don't like this. I don't like any of this.
I bet you.
Oh my god! So anyway,
His big gaping anus.
so sorry, Chris. It'll
Like
be
an
Friday.
like a drunken elephant's arsehole.
Oh, could you imagine? It would loosen. So, anyway, that's I done one of these terrible trips. It was part of the thing, and I do regret it. But when I was in the Indian border, I went on an elephant, and you're not. I shouldn't
In
have
an
done it
elephant.
on an elephant.
On an okay.
But because I was tall, you were put on the back.
Uh-huh.
So I was walking backwards the whole trip with this arse shiting right at my feet. But
Are you sure?
if my feet touched the elephant, its tail would come up, and its tail is this huge bit of bone, and it would hit you because it didn't touch me. So I'm on this fucking poor elephant, furious at me with my legs up in
And
the
maybe
air.
it was financially quite a
exhausted.
solvent elephant. You don't know.
They're not treated well.
No.
I regret it.
When elephants lose their mind,
No, that's
who's the
troubling.
first person they kill?
Trainer right after them.
Immediately.
Yeah. So they should. So anyway,
I saw,
what?
walking back from work the other day, here's a wee crow with an injured wing.
Oh no.
So I gave it a scone.
All right.
And there's not much I could do. I had stuff to do. I can't be rescuing a crow.
Yeah.
But I walked past that garage, see if that crow's still there. He's still there.
Oh,
So after this, I'm going to phone the RSPCA, get him rescued.
see if you can rescue.
I get him
What a
rescued.
shame. Well, that's good of you. So, but don't sit on it like I did with an elephant.
No,
It's not good. So this weekend,
imagine if he became a friend in every episode
you
of this.
you
from now
can.
on.
You could have a crow.
Crow here. Picture it.
There's a crow at mine.
Picture it.
It comes and
Picture
sees me
it.
every
You can
day.
see it already.
I'd
can't
love
you?
it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
I'll maybe
averse to
take
that.
it back to my studio and have it.
I
live in
don't know about that. So
here. Okay.
this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I like. Now the thing is, a lot of people that go to the markets with their art or their wares or whatever,
Jesus.
they like to be very. What I try to evoke with this image, but you're at a market.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to pull people
Lot
in
of
and
pictures
sell
of
a bit.
coos.
Oh my god! If I saw one more
Highland coos. Highland coos are the bane of my life. I love
Oh, you
Highland
see.
coos. I love them.
they're wonderful.
You see a
Big
pic-
friendly fuckers.
You see a fucking misty morn. Even down in Dundee next to the dump, there's a couple of Highland coos there. On a misty morning, when you drive past, they're
Have you
magnificent.
played with a baby coo?
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Magnificent.
Amazing.
But they do this.
Yeah. That's it. That's the face.
The big nose. I went to Pittenweem Art Festival, and there was, I counted 15, all women, 15 artists, and all of them had done these pictures, and they were 3D, so the nose stuck out.
No, he
Not
looked
one,
nice.
15.
Now this is one of the problems. But anyway, you've got to be a bit of a cheeky chappy. You've got to pull
Del
people
boy,
in.
yeah.
Now a lot of people don't like that, but they don't realise you're at a market.
Yeah.
You've still got to pull people in. And when I
You can be
watched,
subtle.
well, the thing is, I watched the guys at the
State pipe guys always.
the cars.
Uh,
And you think they're not going to be, they're going, would you like to come and have a look? They're pulling people in.
yeah, yeah.
It's a market,
Mhm.
right? And there is a cadence to it, and a lot of people don't get that.
Mhm.
So I like to have a lot of fun with people. I have a lot of fun with.
No.
Look, some of the people left, and they give me free stuff when I was leaving. I got on with people. I got on with them all the
They
sellers.
didn't see through you.
Not this weekend. It was only 3 days, so they didn't have enough time to
3
see
days.
The truth.
That's when I wish I'd kind of stopped.
Yeah, too late.
interacting.
So I was pulling people in.
Uh-huh.
This guy came across.
Pulling people off. That's it. Uh,
It works.
uh,
So this guy comes across. Now there's a lot of a weird accent.
kind of Huey was he?
And that's not me joking. They talk like that. You go, what is this
Yeah.
thing here? And I went, it's an apron. You could. It's done all the things. And I said, and they're handmade in Dundee. And he went, Dundee,
Oh no.
Dundee. Finally, a good thing to come out of Dundee, that place.
Oh no.
And I was on my third day, and I just went, oh, fuck off. And I heard myself say it. I was exhausted. I just went, oh, fuck off, like that. And I've never done that in my life. I was tired. I'd had a few run-ins with people being very rude to me, and you just let it go over you. But this guy, I just went, oh, fuck off. And he looked at me. And I went, right. And I started taking my apron off. And he just turned around and left. That fucking 90-year-old, he'd never do that again.
Oh no.
I was so angry. Just fucking stop. I'd been hearing about Dundee all weekend.
Maybe remove the Dundee element. Say handmade. Do what Brian Cox did. A
small
small town
town.
outside Glasgow.
So, no, it gets worse.
Oh no.
Sometimes
Uh-huh.
we do this because we think we're funny as fuck. We're a couple of arseholes that think we're funny.
We don't think we're funny. We know.
We
We know. Okay.
Now, I made a joke.
Oh fuck's sake! You're not a joke guy.
Oh, well, wait till you hear it. We make a bag, and the bag's based on a World War I officer's map case. And you've seen the bag. And
I've got one.
You have a bag. Lovely. Right,
Ne-
okay.
Never use it.
Now you fuck off. So anyway,
Uh-huh.
this guy comes up. I don't know if he was 40, if he was 60. They've got
One
that.
of these ageless.
Yeah, and he's these are. Can you explain this back to me? And I went, yeah, certainly. It's based on a World War I map case. He stopped me. He went, the Great War. I went, it wasn't that great for us. We lost. He says, we didn't lose. I said, my side did. And I winked at him. Now, I thought we'd slap each other on the shoulders and be best friends for life. Oh my God. I had to de-escalate for about 20 minutes. It was terrible.
What
Now, I
is
think
it?
that's, you see, you laughed. That's a good joke. But it didn't go well. I didn't say it was a Nazi. That was World War I. That was before Nazis. I just said, I like the idea of the spike on the helmet.
Yeah.
I just made a joke.
What did he say to that? Was he?
My father. It started out, mate, I'm just joking. Of course, I'm
Jeez,
joking.
his
This is
father
not
never-
something.
his
No, he
fa-
didn't. He didn't. He was probably about 30. And he go, oh, God. And then I've realised, see, this was me trying to be funny. It went completely wrong.
Please stop! Don't do that.
But other people, I was having a good time, having a laugh. It all worked. But every now and then it went bad.
You know how when a chimpanzee laughs, that's not laughter, it's fear.
It's fear, yes.
When people laugh at your
It's
jokes,
fear.
it's a chimpanzee reaction. Fuck's sake.
I thought it was a great joke.
Uh,
Not my side.
Well, in a similar vein, this morning, turned on the TV, and here's this guy. BBC, ITV is just ITV morning TV is just terrible. It's kind of quite reactionary. It's just going on about like wokeism, and it's just all this endless shit. BBC One just get people on who are wanting attention.
I understand.
So it's how many people can walk. Remember when Ian Botham walked the length of the UK?
I do.
They all do it now.
Everyone does.
Bullying, child death, disease, it's all they run the length of the country, which is fine. But then but they themselves, as a certain rugby player who's doing a thing, and I was in the shop the other day and he's got a book out. So you're like, although he's doing a charitable act, it's kind of building his profile. There's a
yeah.
humble, braggy quality to it. I don't like.
Not nice.
I just.
Yeah.
They become addicted to that. You're a
Well,
hero.
It was a bit like Live Aid.
Yeah.
Everyone that played Live Aid had an album to promote.
Yes.
The ones that said they weren't doing it didn't have anything. They were on holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this guy, he said he was at his niece's daughter's christening in a church.
Okay.
And in the graveyard, he was looking at the gravestones, probably standing having a fag, as you
Of
do.
course.
And this one was a dead soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided this is dirty, so he's going to come back and clean it. And he's made it his mission now. So what he does is he goes all over the UK cleaning the gravestone of ex-servicemen.
Right.
And I just didn't know what to think about it. And he cleans them so, kind of an old cemetery's got that mossy look.
Yeah.
And he cleans it back to the bare marble and spruces it all up. And he says these people are being forgotten. And I thought, you don't understand the kind of point of a graveyard. That is life, to be forgotten.
It is. It's to move on.
There's something beautiful.
Yeah.
You've lived your life, you've done this, and then there's just you're a relic, you're a forgotten.
Yeah.
Does he really think it's not?
And you're assuming they've forgotten. I've
Yeah.
got families in that, and they come up one day and go, "Who the fuck's been touching this?
Just cleaning the gravestone. And I
touching
find
this is my dad."
And he
He's
says,
been,
yeah,
weird.
a lot of ex-servicemen do this. He says, obviously, some don't like coming in the graveyard because of the death. It's triggering. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. But they just patted
Don't
him in
watch
the
Die
back.
Hard then.
They patted him in the back for a while. I may be too cynical, but I'm just everybody is just looking for a bit of clout. Aren't they? Everybody. It's like that fucking submarine. The amount of people who are invited onto that submarine and
Didn't go. Yeah.
Did he invite 1,000 people onto that one wee submarine?
It seems to be that way.
That Mr. Beast, he said he was going to be on it. They've proven it's a lie. No, he didn't.
Did he not?
No, he didn't.
Oh my God. What is wrong with people?
Yeah, it's like Donald Trump. A helicopter crashed and his business guy died in the crash. And Trump was doing the round saying, yeah, I was going to be on that, but I had a feeling. And people said he wasn't. No, you
I
weren't.
know someone,
Mhm.
right, who was in London
Uh-huh.
the day of the rail attacks.
Right, oh,
And-
jeez.
Right. Wait, 17 miles away from the train, and said, "You know what? The terrorists tried it with me and they didn't win." And I actually said to them, "You, now." Women get a lot of this. Oh, crazy women, because they've got their
Yeah.
own opinion. I went, no. You're a crazy fucking crazy bitch.
Miles away.
17 miles away. She hadn't been on the train. She wasn't going on the train. She drove there by car to a friend's house and then left.
Oh, I know
But she said, and she would talk about it, the terrorists came after me.
Jesus
I
Christ.
told her, you are so stupid, it hurts me to look at you.
That's painful.
I've got sore hands because you're stupid.
Ken, if you ever see these YouTube videos and it's somebody playing up on a plane and they get put off,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, yay!
Yeah.
Imagine if that plane then crashed. And that annoying person's like, their cuntishness saved their life.
Here's
Imagine how you'd feel. I've had one too many sambucas,
yeah.
and it saved me. Ken, I've made an
And
arse of myself.
You say to someone, "Oh, stop being a cunt." That's it. You're off.
You're off. But imagine one of the air stewardesses has to come off for you to escort you off, and you
she'd
save
come
her
back and
life.
go, thank you.
Your cuntishness saved your life.
You called me a cunt an hour ago, but thank you.
She's like that. I took a you took a shite in the middle of the plane, and that shit saved your life.
Oh God, I've never thought of it.
Yeah.
You're a bleak person, aren't
Yeah,
you?
very bleak.
Oh my
When
God.
planes come, just.
So
Did you listen to that thing about Yetis?
no,
I sent you a link about a
I've
podcast.
been working.
You could have listened to it. It would have saved you telling jokes to people. Christ almighty, done you a favour.
Fucking hell, I'm still feeling. I don't know how I feel about it, but
Is it giving you a funny itchy feeling inside your head? Just an awkwardness.
not
Not embarrassment.
embarrassment. I think I had to improve my de-escalation powers, and I think they came to me quite well.
You
I
know
was
what
quite
would
happy.
have done? You should have goose stepped around them in a circle,
Oh God, that would have been great.
slowing down. Just
I had to tell a couple of people to fuck off
aye. What kind of stuff was there?
on the Friday.
Was people
Fine.
being outrageous with offers? I'll give you a
Sa-
£2.
No, it was really just a guy would come up and he'd go, "So what's this for?" I went,
Oh.
"Well, it's for also." No, I didn't care what it's for, and I'm like, "Oh right, okay." I says, "Well, it's obviously not for you, mate." Much as that, I says, 145, and he went, "For a penny, that's disgusting." I
Oh,
went, "Mate, just move along,
Oh,
go somewhere else then."
uh-huh.
Like that, and he just stood staring. I went, "Nah, seriously, fuck off now. You're creeping me out." I said, "Just fuck off."
Aye.
So,
Did
because
they have to pay to go into the?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
so people are all they hear me is say to people, "Just fuck off, just fuck off." But they've been picking their nose and just weird people.
Yeah.
A lot of boys with their eyes on the side of their head.
Yeah,
Do you know
just-
what I mean?
just a sheep.
There's a lot of that going on. Do you remember
The sheep dip's quite toxic.
Space Precinct?
Yeah.
Do you remember the cops with the wide eyes? That's what all the people
On eBay,
were
I sold
wearing tweed.
like 40 Space Precinct toys I got in a job lot. And I
You
thought,
should. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange people. But we were right under the Tannoy system.
oh, that's annoying as well.
And it's annoying as fuck, but it was also super entertaining because you think, okay, I'll do it. And coming up next, we've got the Highland Cow painting competition, and then following that, we've got something, then something, and after that, the toilets are there, the exits are Right, I can do that. They got this guy. You think?
Droning.
Right, I'm going to do it. I've even set this up. Ladies
Oh.
and gentlemen, it's a lovely day at the Scone
Oh.
Game Fair. And up next we have the Extreme BMX stunt team. And you will not believe what they can do on a push bike.
Oh, no.
I saw them with their car earlier. Stickers all over it. And there's been an incident with a golden eagle, and if you could all make way for the ambulance to get through. Oh, look, it's raining. I've got my washing out.
Oh, no.
Anyway, ambulance, something's happened with an eagle, but I can assure you the eagle is now in custody. And remember, wipe the seats of the toilets. We've had a few complaints of excrement being wiped on the handles. I hope everyone has a lovely day. And then you'd hear him. Then it would go like this. Right, that's that done. Is there anything else? What button? What button? Oh, Jesus! What? There's 3 buttons. Wait, right. And that's that. You'd hear this every half hour.
My hometown Keith show, the guy used to put the thing on. He used to do this. Put the thing on.
Oh, I don't think it works on your side. I haven't set it
Oh,
up.
it's okay.
Ah.
He would go away, and he says, "We're having a great time here. The great show." He say, but he was broad Doric. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
He said, and as I said to the wife last night, whiskey makes you frisky, gin makes you thin, and the less said about brandy, the better.
Oh my God.
And he'd say that every year. I forget his name. He was like someone farmer or something. But he was a radio guy from up north. But in the show, there was one year, there was the grand parade of the animals.
Okay.
And the big coos and the big bulls were coming down.
Yeah.
And there was
Huge
a big,
testicles.
huge things, fucking
Jesus.
massive things. And a big Heelan coo and another, it was like an Aberdeen Angus, got in a bit of a ruck.
Oh dear.
And the Aberdeen Angus gored it a bit, and the Highland coo bull fell over,
Oh.
fell through the fence, and squashed these 3 people in wheelchairs. But the only thing it saved them was the mud was so soft.
They pushed
They pushed them in. But you used to, you'd see when you walked about with kids, there was just wellies everywhere. People get stuck in the mud and they have to abandon their wellies.
Here is the most wonderful thing that I didn't know.
Right.
To be in the countryside, there's uniform.
Oh, yeah. They
There's
wear
a thing called...
that jacket that's fleeced. Not fleeced, it's quilted.
It's quilted. They've got that. They've got lots of tweed. All
Yeah.
the girls have got...
What's your thought
tweed
on,
mini-
what's your thought on jodhpurs?
I don't like...
No.
Well, with,
Jodhpurs were ahead. Now you see leggings all the time. Jodhpurs was probably my first imagining when I was a young
Jesus,
guy.
I don't need to know
The
this. Look,
jodhpur.
I'll put it this way. As looks go, in Dundee, I'm a strong 4.
Right.
There,
Oh, you
I was a strong 11.
Jesus.
I was, honestly, I was
Quite
like...
thick-necked people.
I was like Brad Pitt holding 2 puppies.
Big, thick thumbs.
The fingers. Every time they came over, it was
This
just
is
like
rural. It's
sausages.
rural people.
Jesus.
There's
So
a
they're
lot-
wearing these shirts called, I think they're jewels or something, and they're white shirts, but they've got little pheasants printed all over
wow.
them.
Fuck.
Everyone wears that.
Was anybody wearing those hats that are like flat pack? They're paper, and you just pull them on your head, and they just go whoop, like a
No.
lemon squeezer.
No.
no.
What the fuck?
It's like paper hats that used to advertise businesses, and there was just a flat.
Oh,
hat.
yeah. No, there was none of
None
them.
of that.
You used to get them like at Lookers when
I
you go to
loved
the air
them.
show.
I loved them.
So they're wearing that. They wear this sort of cowboy hat with pheasant feathers in it.
Yeah, yeah.
They wear the waistcoat.
A lot. Do you see
All
many
wearing-
dry as a bone jackets?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of wellies, and all the girls are wearing this. The sun's, it was like 27
Yeah.
degrees, and they're all wearing this. But I thought, right, for the shirts, because some of the girls would come and be a pheasant, be dogs, it was all the country stuff.
Yeah.
We could do Dundee versions. Syringes all over, little tiny syringes.
Starface. No, huskies. Huskies.
Right? Or little capsules that your hippie crack comes in all over them.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
really subtle. They'd fly off the shelves.
A necklace, one of the hippie
pie.
crack containers. Oh,
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
the agriculture. I used to like it though, because you go around all the. If you've ever been to Edinburgh in the big Highland show,
Yeah.
it's wild. The smells,
Ah.
but it's quite expensive. But they did it one year in my hometown. They'd slaughtered a whole Aberdeen Angus bull and had it on a spit. And the smell, it was like the Bisto Kid. The smell of this
smell of
roasting
death.
meat.
Oh,
What do you mean
disgusting.
as if it's
I don't like
horrible-
the smell of
Oh,
steak and that. It was there.
but that was Mr. Blobby show as well.
Oh God.
Where Mr. Blobby visited. Oh, Blobby, Blobby, Blobby. And he had a Highland, he'd a pink Blobby's kilt on and a big hat, Toorie on. And the following day, it was in the Sun newspaper, carnage at Mr. Blobby's show.
Oh.
Because there's a thing called tractor pooling. You ever heard of this?
Yes.
But they're not a standard tractor, they're a thing it's kind
Souped
of
up
made.
just for this
Yeah.
one day a
Yeah.
year. Farmers go mental.
Mental for it.
Yeah.
And the tractor just overextended its engine and blew up, and shrapnel went through the crowd and hit a few people. Now, Mr. Blobby wasn't there, but he was in the show. So, carnage at Mr. Blobby's
Oh,
show.
wonderful. No,
Yeah.
it was an experience, and I mean, I might go back. I
They're
don't know.
tight, though.
They might see this and
You remember All Creatures Great and Small back in the day?
Mhm.
I think they've revamped it for Channel 5. I've never seen it. But they used to go veterinary, and they'd always
Yeah.
go and it would be some tight farmer that wouldn't give them a thruppenny for the,
it was a very
Just
like
people
that.
with their fists up an arse all day long.
That's all it was. You just
Yeah.
put your arm up.
What would
an
be
arsehole.
better? A vet like dealing with beasts, coos, and
Oh, yeah,
that,
yeah,
or
yeah.
a small animal practice?
Oh,
I wonder what makes the most money. I'd be surprised. The equine stuff will make the big cash.
yeah.
Be lovely to be a vet at like a zoo. You could have
I
a
saw pictures
wombat,
yesterday of a gorilla
oh,
splayed out getting operated on.
wow.
They're gigantic.
tiny
Jesus Christ,
penises.
what's wrong- Fuck, what's wrong with that?
Well, no, but because when they first discovered gorillas, they made sculptures so like gorillas stealing away white women.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing. It's a famous sculpture, a French sculpture. But when they actually brought gorillas, obviously they didn't.
The first thing they do, they went,
the
look
shot
at that.
but they're tiny wee, but they're not really capable of rape.
No.
So they removed their peckers
Oh, that's
or added new ones.
oh, that's
Because they're
strange.
gentle animals, gorillas.
Yeah,
Unless you
sure.
fuck with them, they'll club you to death.
So that was my weekend, and if anyone
It
wants to
sounds
see
fun. It
pictures,
sounds fun.
it was I got on with everyone. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there was a vibe change and a different crowd came in.
That's the folk coming
And
for
it
the
was-
scraps.
I just don't know. It was
What
a
you were
different
dealing with
attitude.
earlier on was the lions,
Yeah.
the first of the kill.
Okay.
By
Lovely
Sunday, it's vultures and hyenas.
We had nothing but compliments about it. People
Yeah.
were buying
It's
it.
a nice
It was
product.
lovely, lovely. Sunday came,
What's this?
and I just went fuck off to the guy's face, and then everyone heard that. Then later on, I went, just mate, fuck off, go on, fuck off, and everyone heard that. So people were saying, why are you just telling everyone fuck off? I went, no, they're being really rude. Then a couple of people around us got rude, customers,
Ah,
but they didn't treat it the way I did. They just sat and sobbed.
did they?
They just got really upset.
That's why I can't deal with the pub. I have a point. I've worked with the public all my working life,
Yeah.
and I'm great to a point. I'm lovely to people, and if they're a bit annoying, I'm
Mhm.
kind of understanding. But there's a switch. And
But
when
you know them enough when you know they're going
when
too
they
far.
cross a line.
Yeah.
and they're offensive to me, I don't care that I'm at my work. I'll
Yeah.
say I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And then what? I don't care. There's a level of respect I have for myself, and I'm not. People say, "Oh, don't let them go under your skin." I'm like, no, I'm not letting them go under my skin. They're a cunt, and they need to be taught a lesson.
I don't think in any way that I've got this tough attitude. I'm a
No.
terrible
But
person who doesn't fight.
Would you go to a place and treat anybody?
No. The way they were talking to me, I couldn't imagine talking to
Yeah.
anyone like that in my life.
But the
And I never
problem
have.
is, there's the public. There's a mentality, and this is all classes.
Mhm.
This is you can have a scumbag with a fucking husky or a guy in a fucking stately home. Some of them think as soon as you're selling someone, you're their employee.
Yes. Well,
You're
I got
not
it.
their employee.
I got it. Yeah, I got
If they buy something from you, you've got a certain duty of care. You've sold
But
them.
there's
a
also
thing.
an exchange of goods.
Yeah.
That's all agreed. No.
Before that,
This is this fucking Selfridge quote that the customer's always right.
it's not.
That's not what he meant.
no.
He meant if they want a pink fucking top hat, you sell them it.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean the customer could talk to you like a piece of shit.
you can immediately refuse service.
Just
to
go
people.
get to fuck, and
Just
I
get
done
to
that.
fuck.
So it
I've told
happened
you
6
before. I'd
arguments
love to just open a shop in
just to
Dundee
tell people to get
with
the
the
fuck.
best stuff.
Yeah.
I would have like Rolex watches for if I was a vastly wealthy person. I'd have Rolex watches for £10. I'd have the top of the range computers for a £5. I'd have the place kitted out beautifully. Just wouldn't sell anything to anybody. Just people
Nah.
would come in and like, nah, I
No,
didn't,
that
didn't like the look of you. Go and
laptop
get
for
me
a
the manager.
fiver.
Get me the
No.
manager. I'd love to see this line. I am the manager.
I am the manager.
Uh,
No,
always pay everything. Just
I done well, I think, considering. But like that, there was this big guys, a lot of big
big
guys.
Fairman guys. Yeah.
Like that. And he goes, what's this pish? He just
Oh.
said it. And I went, fuck off, mate. What do you mean this pish? He went, oh, I didn't mean anything by it. And I genuinely, when he went, oh, I didn't mean anything by it, he didn't. But don't say it.
Aye.
And he would have killed me with one.
I just crushed you.
But I just went,
Because you've
fuck
got
off.
to remember, slavery's been largely abolished in this country,
Mm-hmm.
but farmers have a lot of kids for a reason.
Oh, the kids.
Because they're unpaid navvies. That's what they are.
Right, okay, you can take this any way you want. The kids came round.
They'll
right?
let one get away to uni, but the rest are there for life.
The kids, right, they were dressed like 60-year-old farmers,
yeah,
right?
they
They've
do.
got that. But the kids have a far-off look. They're just, and you're
Well, can you their
and I was
best
talking
pal
to
is?
them in that.
They're brothers and
There's
sisters.
brothers and sisters. And they just didn't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with kids. We're all
No.
fine. But they just didn't know how to communicate.
There's a notion that to live in the countryside is wonderful for growing up.
Ugh.
And as a wee kid, it's kind of fun fucking about. As a kid, I was always out in the countryside running a bit. But then you get to your teenage years, and it's not enough for you.
Yeah.
You can retire back to the solitude and the peace of the countryside, but there's a part of your life you need stimulation.
People,
you need stuff.
things. Yeah.
You need to experience things.
So is this one
Very
wee kid?
conservative. A small. I grew up in a rural community, and I grew up with a lot of young dungers. We called them
Yeah.
dungers, and they were just so conservative of everything.
Yeah.
Their attitude to foreign people, gay people,
Yeah,
shocking. I don't know if that's changed dramatically. I don't think it will have.
Although there was nobody of any colour
None.
there. There was nobody. Well, there was one group of gay guys came in.
Just-
They were very
Oh,
flamboyant.
they liked the dung. I thought, a
And-
bit of rough trade.
They just, they were quite wonderful because they were
Aye.
standing. Obviously, they were standing with us for ages, having a right laugh and that. They were really, really nice guys,
Mhm.
but no, not a lot of.
Well,
a very conservative white fair it is.
yeah, but and they do a lot. I suppose it's a hard job because a lot of injuries in farms. They say there's a lot of mental health problems because of this kind of. You're by yourself largely in a field all fucking day long.
You're going to start.
You've
hearing
got
voices.
worries. A lot
Yeah.
of guys kill themselves. There's no. Who do you go and speak to? Your sheep.
To be fair, I've seen the women.
Mm.
No offense to them, but a lot of thick necks.
But they don't choose. You don't choose a wife for her personality. You choose her because she's got right big arms and wide hips.
The hands, right? I was sat up beside a jeweler, and I said to her, "Have you noticed all the giant fingers?" And she went, "None of them could pick the stuff up. I've got to pick it up for them."
like
giant
mitts,
hands.
mitts. Did the jeweler sell much stuff?
Everyone was doing okay, but
Ah.
okay is, I think, the max. Now, a lot of
Somebody
the
just
people,
walked past a wee shadow. They slowed a bit.
to listen, all the people, we were in a marquee, really
Uh-huh.
nice place, but a lot of people had individual sort of
Yeah.
things, and some of them just on the second day just closed up. They just went home, and you've paid a lot for that. It's like £1,000, and they just went, "No, we're out of here." It wasn't
this-
great.
So you had the rural community had farming,
Mhm.
and then if you look into the costs, so like milk,
Mhm.
the only way you can produce milk profitably is by economy of scale. You've got to be a huge concern.
Yeah,
So some smaller farms thought we'll diversify and we'll open these kind of like things.
yeah.
And that did go well for a long time, but that phase seems to be coming. From what we have spoken, that's a few of these kind of country things are starting to fail
But
a little
it's,
bit.
It's things that you thought would never go.
You know
Because
what it is? Convenience. We are getting to the stage of humanity where everything can be bought and
I think
delivered
that's just
to your
one
house.
aspect because there's
Cinema's dead.
yeah, but there's lots of
People can't embarrass just to even walk to the cinema.
Well, I've not been in 4 years.
I stopped going because of people eating, and it wasn't me eating.
It was COVID put me off,
Yeah,
and I
no.
just went. But I don't know, and then the cost of it, and then everything comes out. You just wait 3 weeks, and it's on demand anyway. My screen's better.
The thing with these fairs are, the food's just too expensive.
It was oh god, what was it? £3 a coffee and £8 a sandwich.
That's getting too dear.
Because I was like, nah. And then the one place, then later in the day, it was like £5 a coffee. Things were going up,
David's still busy, just like charity shops, man.
and it's
That's
like,
it.
well, I've noticed there's some festivals that have been going for years and events and that have been going for
Glastonbury
40 years and that.
Glastonbury
People
looked
aren't
packed,
going.
but that's going to be expensive for a muffin,
Super expensive
for a
yeah.
falafel and
Yeah.
fucking
People are actually
Glastonbury.
complaining about it this year properly, saying it's a bit exploitative. But it's the nature. Everything's gone up in price.
It's like a can of Coke.
Yeah.
I went to the post office I go to. He sells a can of Coke for 60p,
Yeah.
and that is the cheapest can of Coke in Dundee.
I could imagine.
It's 95p a can. I say to him, "You have the cheapest," and it's because he's one of these dudes that sells the multi packs. I love that. Do not sell singular. I was at the post office this morning, sending a watch off.
Oh, right. Okay.
Went to the butcher to get my pies, and I outside the chemist.
Yeah.
You know the chemist I mean. In
I know
the
where you are.
West, 40 people queuing, junkies.
Junkies.
And I went in and I told a joke, but they laughed at my joke. I says, "Is this the?" And they're queuing for Tea in the Park tickets, and she says, "Every morning they're like that." I says, "Well, watch that piece of shit," because he comes into the work trying to rob the place all the time. But it was like a social event.
Oh, it's
But
very
what was
much so.
weird, same faces I see at Brantwood, same
Oh,
junkies. Did they
yeah.
go to both?
Well, they've maybe.
But have you been
Maybe
to that? Have
scammed
you ever
away.
been to that chemist? So the door open and they pile in,
Right.
and there's quite a camp guy that works there with the dyed black hair.
Okay, I know who you are.
And
Yeah.
I caught his eye, and you could just see him going, "Kill me." Every morning,
It's brutal. It's
staggering
brutal,
in.
Yeah. It's hard. It's getting.
But no shame. Nobody's like,
Oh no! It's
nobody's
just,
like,
this
"Oh
is-
God, I'm
no,
having
no.
to get." It's all like, "Hey, hey!"
Yeah. But this is, I think we're going to reach a peak soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is the drug use and stuff, and it does go in waves. And I think
Yeah.
we'll get to a peak soon, and it'll slowly start
That-
dissipating a bit.
I would be interested to know how many of that gang were Dundonians, because by their accents, a lot
Oh,
of them
well,
were
famously, people were moving from all
Valium.
over
Valium.
the country and living here to get the Valium because it's the cheapest in the UK.
Was the
Have
famous,
I just done an advert?
Yeah.
Are we now sponsored?
not real Valium.
No,
There
no.
was a guy that they did a programme he featured in some BBC thing, and they went to his flat, which wasn't the tidiest, and he was trying to make him sell a cup of tea, and he'd had 30 Valium already. 30.
I saw that.
People think impossible. No.
No, you can do
And
it.
as he was speaking to the journalist,
He just slides.
slids down
and
the
he's
wall. And he's
And
a Geordie
the
guy.
journalist's trying to wake him up, and he's like, nah, he's done.
And he was at my work, and he went and sat at a table outside and promptly fell asleep. And I said to him, come on, bud, you have to move for here. He says, what time is it? I says, I've no idea. I says, come on, move your arse. And he said, show me some respect. That's what he said to me.
yeah.
I says, really?
Really,
No.
nah.
Just tipped
Well-
him out of the chair.
Years ago, but it's all pills now, but years ago it was all heroin.
Yeah.
And I remember in the 90s, I was walking up past the Wishart Centre, which was the sort of
Mhm.
support place for all the...
Yeah.
So Wishart, I think, yeah, it's a hotel now or something. And this girl came up to me. She was from London, saw her all the time, really heavy drug use. And she goes, I need some money for a bus or that. And I
Oh.
went, I don't have any. And then I looked down, she's holding a
Oh.
Stanley knife at me.
Oh, no.
And this guy was walking past and he stopped, this wee angry Dundee guy. And I went, is that for me? She went, oh, no, mate, no, put it away. This guy was ready to knock her out. He was ready. And she just walked away and the guy went, I would have fucking had her. And I went, I know. Jesus. But she died soon after that. But,
I was on
Jesus.
YouTube last night,
okay.
and you know the guy from Lost Boys, the saxophonist.
Yes, yes.
I watched a short video about his life story, because he was a muso in New York
Mm-hmm.
in the 60s and 70s, and he got really into smack,
Oh, my God.
and he was a degenerate, and he'd went to a family thing, and his niece cried at him because he was scared of him because he looked so awful, and he was walking past a gym, and he saw guys, fucking muscle bodybuilders,
Uh-huh.
and he thought they look fit, and it saved his life, so he started going to the gym and got his life back together.
Oh, my God.
So that's why he was so gigantic. But he did the Lost Boys. It was just like on a whim. He kind of did it,
Uh-huh.
and he designed the look.
Right. Oh,
Schumacher
wonderful,
said, "Go for it,
wonderful.
go with it."
Schumacher would.
Schumacher said, "Go
Yeah.
for it." It's the best scene in the film. It's fantastic. It's
Oh, it's
hilarious. It's iconic. It is iconic.
Wonderful film.
But he'd forgotten about it because he wanted to be an actor. He's not been in much. But then he had a second wind in 2010. He was able to put an album out. I think it was called Blood on the Reed.
Oh, right. Oh. That's like when Beyonce called her album B-Day. You never thought it through. It's not good.
Is she not the most overrated character?
Yes.
I think she's deeply overrated.
Yeah.
They
of course
just
it
wait
is.
like it's an event.
It's just.
She's nothing to
middling.
say about anything.
And she's never brought anything to music. I enjoy the background noise of it. I do.
But it's
Because-
all
but it
retro.
doesn't mean anything.
It's all-
Doesn't mean anything.
but she spends all her time. She'll go to like dictatorships if they pay her money. She'll play.
It's
at the
like when
birthday.
Steps got back together and people were going, "Oh, weren't they great?"
No,
No,
they're terrible.
they were terrible then. They're terrible now.
They got paid
Just-
so little money.
Yeah.
They made nothing from Steps.
Well, it's when Stockaken and Waterman brought Steps out. There were several other bands. One of them was called Scooch. They were an unusual looking bunch, but they brought the whole lot out at once. One hit, dropped the rest, and that's all they do. They just
Brutal.
don't
And
care.
you basically got a clothing allowance. That's what you got.
So-
But I suppose if you're 20 and you're getting clothes and,
and you're famous, and everyone's
yeah,
saying, "Oh,
you suddenly realise I've no fucking money.
what's your wage? £60 a week."
Although
What the fuck?
yeah, you're making more as a paper boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, wonderful.
I don't like
times.
H from Steps. He's a appalling individual. That time he did that wanky cry, he was looking at a picture of his family and like almost masturbating. It was
Oh,
very
that's
disturbing.
weird. I like the other guy.
I like the lassie that gets fat and slim. She's
Oh, constantly up and down. The guy with the dark hair, can't remember his name.
Latchford,
But
Latch,
he is-
Evans, Latch.
Oh, it's something. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
something like the
so
Latch.
he there was this program where they got old boy band
Oh,
people all
brilliant.
together into
And they're
one,
all just in
but
it.
he only referred to himself in the third person.
Oh, brilliant.
Say his name was Jim. He goes, Jim doesn't like that.
Oh.
Jim's getting angry. And he's completely fucking mental. He completely believes he's like Michael Jackson level. It's wonderful.
And he wasn't the star of Steps.
No, he's just like some. It's just so good. It's
Steps.
wonderful. He's just.
They're not making much money though, because remember
They played Dundee.
yeah, because like nobody album sales, you just don't make money out of music anymore, so they had to tour.
Mm-hmm,
But then the problem is everyone tours
and there's just
too much, so nobody's
a
making money.
glut of 90s terrible bands.
But none of these people can go back to normal life. They feel like they can't go and work in a chip shop
No,
because you get pilloried in the press if they find
but
it.
you imagine being in a chip shop and you were in Steps. Oh, the abuse you'd get.
There was a
abuse.
lassie for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang that was in Dundee, and H.M.
Famously.
Samuels.
Yeah.
Piece of shit of a lassie,
Uh,
dangerous.
Yeah, she
Dangerous.
had to get forcibly evicted from her auntie's house or something with all their drug parties and
Where's
shit.
she rocked up, I wonder?
I think she was here until very recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was a piece
I
of
tell
shit.
you, I
though.
keep seeing in Dundee, Omar,
Omar, what's he doing here?
the porn star, Omar.
Yeah.
He's been in my work 3 or 4 times. He's not a tall guy, he's a wee guy.
Oh,
But he goes about,
disproportionate.
and I've often wondered saying to him, Omar, what are you doing here?
Plus, I don't even know who you're talking about.
Funny that. He was that British type of porn star. It was all a little bit end of the pier. Like Ben Dover.
Oh, God.
Ben Dover's son is that guy that was in that terrible comedy.
Yeah, he's an actor.
Yeah,
and
he's a terrible
his
actor.
mum's a porn star too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Lindsay.
Well-
I can't remember.
Well, she looked like Ben Dover looked like Keith Harris.
Yes.
It was unsettling.
As soon as he takes the green duck off his arm, he's fucking. He's non-stop fucking.
Keith Harris. Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
God.
Poor Keith.
Is he still going?
No, he's long dead, mate.
Is he?
Long dead.
Keith Harris dead.
Keith Harris dead.
Is the monkey still going?
Cuddles. No, they were buried with him in the
Oh,
sarcophagus.
that's.
Yeah.
You think they would keep their career?
Well, it's like Sooty and Sweeper still going
Yeah.
because the family sold it off to some ghastly individual.
But even though
with a spiky hair, you should look him up.
Oh,
He
I've
just,
not done
it's
that,
like
but-
Philip Schofield's ghost.
Oh God! Right now, he's ghost. Philip Schofield. You don't think someone could turn whiter?
Aye.
He's
But he's
lost-
doing the.
Oh, it's so sad. I've lost it. Even
You're
his
done.
rosy pink cheeks are just turned.
Don't
white.
even try and apologise. Just fuck off for
Just
a
fuck
spell.
off. Yeah, you're a dick.
I don't like the man, but I always feel like someone else is going to appear because the severity of his punishment seems extreme
Compared
for what
to
he
other
did.
people.
Because there's no been any accusation of illegality. The laddie's not come forward to say he was abused.
But there's something.
There is something
There's
else
something
for
they're
whatever
holding back.
reason. They've said to him, "You fucking make yourselves." Because if you're a multimillionaire with fucking lawyers, and your employer says, "We want you to leave,"
Nah,
you
don't get
say,
the fuck.
"Well, what
You're
have I
paying-
done? How have I broke
Yeah.
my? If is the police been involved?" So there's someone else. they've
He's
said,
in charge of the
"Look,
agency
Philip,"
that's got
They've
all
just
this.
sat him down. They've said, "Philip, look
Look
at
at
page
that.
3.
You're like, oh,
And he says, "Right, I'm away."
Jesus Christ.
It's got to be.
The way they used to go into someone's house with a videotape and say, just put this on. Now we own you.
Well,
It's like,
I think we've
yeah.
discussed it before, and we're not conspiratorially minded. But in a country like the UK, an establishment,
Yeah.
there's a theory that to progress in power and position,
Mm-hmm.
they have stuff on you
Yeah.
because they need
Yeah.
it on you. Imagine if you were a capable person, you were a clean person,
Mhm.
and you were charismatic. Imagine what you could actually maybe
Dangerous.
get done. If you were some guy that became prime minister, you were good
Right.
at your job,
You've hit my
and you
theory.
said, "Let's get rid of the royal family," and the public said, "Let's do it."
You've hit my
You
theory.
yeah,
Right? Now,
Mhm.
my theory is you always hear about, remember that terrible abuse at that boys' home, and then they
Yeah.
found out they were filming people, and that
Yeah.
was politicians.
it's,
And this is how the grey men
yeah,
are controlling things,
Yeah.
right? But what about the other side of it? There has to be a team of people going, fuck, this guy's really good. He's clean, he's
Yeah.
charismatic, all the
Yeah.
things you're saying. He's wanting to do something good for the country and we can't control him. Right. How do we keep him out of politics?
Yeah.
How do we keep them down? How do we...
Well, have you heard the latest
I
one?
bet there is.
Yeah, but they want somebody.
It's not killing people. They'll
'Cause
just
it's-
make life hard for
Because that
you.
guy Cyril Smith was in the big positions of
Oh
power,
my God.
and they knew exactly what he was up to.
And they were taking that
Ted
party.
Heath,
The
this
Lib
Ted
Dems
Heath stuff is
were
always
taking money from a paedophile group.
yeah.
and still to this day won't say it was
No,
terrible. What?
the Lib Dems always like Rent Boys. That was their thing.
Terrible.
A number of them like Rent Boys. But yeah, I just feel like this country deserves better. There's a guy, Savi Javid, no, can they get former Chancellor, bald head.
Oh yeah. I know who you mean.
He said what we should do. He wants to professionalise the MPs. So he wants to have less MPs, but he wants to double their salary.
Oh, that
They're on
works out.
£85,000 just now
Mhm.
with expenses.
Oh my!
It's
God.
fucking ridiculous. And their second homes. And
Our system
we're needing to have a thing.
isn't working.
We should have really used the whole COVID time to reassess this country. We should have had held a mirror up to ourselves and made a lot of changes, but it's too late.
I've just said something there. Our system isn't working. Not for us.
Yeah.
But if you're them,
Well,
it's just
perfectly
fine.
Well. Yeah, well, it's perfectly
It's
well.
working just really well.
Michelle Moan's still free,
She's living the dream.
still on her boat,
Going
with
on her
fake
boat
tits.
and her jet and her stupid tits.
30 million she made out of COVID. How
And you
much
just
did you
take
make
it.
out of COVID?
You just take it.
Yeah,
I kind of lost a fair
Yeah.
bit.
you know what I mean.
But
there's
I'll
no-
tell you right now,
we're
I'm
too-
still
Too
recovering.
busy
And
blame. Too
I don't think I am.
Just distracting us with shit.
Yeah.
But people are like that. We're just like a kitten. You're just like, oh, laser beam. Ooh, 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 ooh.
It's very true.
The cricket and I think I'm looking forward to. Well, I hate Wimbledon. I'm looking forward to somebody letting off a flare or something. One of these Extinction Rebellion people.
Oh, yeah. Some
Hell yeah.
orange paint in the middle of
Oh,
Wimbledon.
boof.
At last, I'm interested.
Oh,
I'll watch it.
Oh no, I've got some orange paint on my £100 strawberries. Imagine if they set fire to. They just hanged Cliff Richard in Centre Court,
Wouldn't that
burnt
be
him like
something?
that. Joan of Arc. See
Dangerous
if you set
Cliffs.
fire to Cliff Richard, he would probably be quite beatific. He would just take it again. Just to
that'd
imagine
be
a
nice.
light came from heaven, and he
And he just-
ascended, and that was the
Ah.
beginning of the rapture.
You're so bleak, but I
Yeah.
would kind of encourage it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd
my
rather
God.
see him burned alive than sing.
He's always singing it.
Do you know
those
there's
fucking
a
things.
rumor that Cliff Richard has a colostomy bag,
Yeah.
and this started
Mm-hmm.
because an old lady was getting fitted for a colostomy bag, and a lovely nurse dealing with her said, "Margaret, don't you worry about it. It's an everyday thing now. Cliff Richard's got one, and you wouldn't know." And she'd went to her kids and said, "Cliff Richard's got a colostomy bag."
Spread wildfire. 3 days later,
A truck
most of the world
driver,
knows
her
about it.
lorry driver found out about it.
It's what happens.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
my time on around farming people was
You won't have to. When's the next event?
I am at the Bow House. I think it's
Oh,
August.
no.
There's nothing until there. I love it.
The last time wasn't a suit to choice, though, was it?
Nah, it wasn't
Struggling a
great,
wee bit.
struggling. But you know what? It's us. We always do well.
We always do.
No, we always do fine, but it's not great.
Yeah.
I think you are noticing that people aren't spending at the moment. I'm very aware of this.
People have money, but they're nervous. They want to hold on to it just for a bit, just to see what happens.
Yeah, it's you know what there's meant to be a bit of a turn in things, and towards the end of the summer, people are going to start spending again. Things are going to get a bit easier. How long that's going to last, I don't know. But all the predictions of
Well, easy. You're not going to get. You're not going to get loans. Your credit card's an expensive proposition now.
yeah.
So you're not going to get on ticks. Not a thing.
No, I think I just don't know when it's going to get better. But I'm actually feeling it this year with my own business a lot. But this is what happens when someone like this, the cost of living, and people go, "I'm fine. I don't really feel it." No. Wait 8 months.
Yeah.
It's not as soon as it starts. You've got to wait down the line, and then people
Yeah.
start going, "Fuck, this is really happening. This is
Yeah.
really, yeah." And you've got to tighten your belts, as it were. But
But you can't afford a belt because
although I make
the
leather
string,
belts,
just
so quite
string.
reasonable.
Just get a string, a piece of old
It's-
twine.
Was
Was there any farmers like Compo of
No.
no,
All
the
the
old
they
school
were all
guys?
now this is something I did notice, and this is because of you and you like your watches.
Oh yeah.
So I've never looked at someone's watch. I was aware.
Expensive.
All Rolexes, all.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? They're wearing shit covered wellies with Rolexes. It's a very different world.
That is.
And I made the mistake when I was walking down from the car. I had to go and get something, and I just took a shortcut through the Platinum car park.
Oh god.
I think they thought I was robbing the place, but they saw my pass. It was okay. But the cars there, you couldn't believe.
Okay.
£300,000 cars just sitting there, and people are coming and just look at.
It's like Perthshire. There's money hidden in Perthshire as well. You don't see. It's quite discreet.
Oh yeah,
You go to Perth and it's a bit of a dump, but then
Yeah.
you don't realise.
2 minutes
Mm-hmm.
outside Perth towards Scone, all the houses, you couldn't believe.
I remember being in a
Unbelievable.
cheese shop in St Andrews in the queue.
I know the cheese shop.
There's two, but the Melis's, and the guy it says, "I'm needing a bit of Parmesan cheese." Now Parmesan I love. It's expensive, so normally you buy yourself a wee wedge.
A wee bit.
The guy goes, "Hey, see, can I get a bit?" And she went to cut it. He says, "No, I'll have that whole bit."
Oh,
And she's like, "Okay." And then he says, "Oh, that one as well." He bought 2 wheels of Parmesan.
cost a fortune.
Fortune. He was having friends round.
In St Andrews,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the job centre's still there, but it used to be a job centre. And there used to be little cards, and people would write
Oh.
there's jobs available. And students would get their money together to get home help. They're that used to it. So you'd go and work for a load of students making their food, doing their dishes, washing
Jesus.
their clothes. That used to be you'd see that all the time.
Fuck, I'd bomb the place.
Isn't that unreal?
Mm.
But they just got, oh, well, it's only
yeah.
a few quid, we could do this.
Oh no, you could hire somebody for very little.
And you're just like, yeah, so why should we do shit?
Imagine having somebody going about your race,
I wouldn't
checking
like
under
that.
your bed.
I wouldn't.
my
Oh, not
lord.
under my bed. Actually, I've got someone going around my house today. I'm getting my electrics
taking
tested.
taking the drip tray from underneath your bed.
My bed does not have a drip tray due to its latex memory foam
Oh, but it's
capabilities. It's
Imagine
all on
them-
the side.
Imagine the memories. That fucking but Maris has PTSD.
Gets triggered every time it sees a body arse, starts crying.
Could you turn me upside down or something?
Do you know what happens in my bed?
Well, oh, don't.
Okay, I'm going to give you. This is what happens
Mm-hmm.
because I've just made a room into a studio.
Uh-huh.
All my stuff's there, so I just stay there all night and just go to bed at the end of the night
God.
for the first, because everyone's in this
How
one
old
room.
are you? 15.
Yeah,
You're like, what's that DJ that's now fucking somebody? Kind of Fife laddie, who's superstar DJ.
oh yeah,
Calvin
yeah.
Harris.
Calvin Harris.
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
he started. But to
in
be
his
fair,
room.
he was a wee bit younger.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
So
I think you've run out of time.
I've got my studio. I've got all my guitars there. I've got my giant 8-foot table. I got a telly around the back.
Oh,
Because
wonderful.
they tell you, I had a 32-inch TV, and I was getting a bit, even with my glasses on, that's a bit. So I went and got a slightly bigger one round there for 50 quid, so I could actually see the telly now. Because I
Oh.
watch a lot of subtitle films, I couldn't read them.
Oh, no.
I just couldn't see it. So I got a bigger telly. I couldn't see it, man. So I've got my studio. So I go up to my bed at night. I've got my iPad. Beside me on the bed, there's no one there. It's just me. The cat jumps up on my chest. He lies down. I put something on, fall asleep, get up in the morning. Nothing happens.
It's like Rudolph Hess.
The same routine.
Woke up in the morning, went for a walk
In
in the
Spandau
garden.
prison. Yeah. It's the
Did he
same
get
thing.
to watch telly, Rudolph Hess?
I don't know.
Because he outlasted a lot, and then he hanged himself.
Did he kill himself?
Yeah, he killed himself,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Mad as a box of frogs.
I would be.
They were all mad, but he was the mad. He was the other Nazis. Is good. He's a bit much.
Oh, God. And by the way, I did not claim I was a Nazi. I said I was a World War One
You were fighting.
German.
Yeah, you were a
Very
you were-
different.
Yeah,
Very different. It was a joke. It was a fucking joke.
you were working for the Kaiser.
Yeah. I thought it was because it all
The
happened
Kaiser
very
had a-
organically.
The Kaiser had a limp like you.
I do have a limp.
Coincidence?
It was so bad. My
Coincidence?
limp. I had to put my leg brace on
Oh, Jesus.
with my Hello Kitty stickers on it and everything.
Oh, Jesus.
I was a man who was described as quite distinguished, and I could see why. I was wearing my Crocs and had my Golden Girls t-shirt on
Jesus.
and my
No
apron.
wonder. Oh, God. And you were telling jokes.
It worked for the first 2 days. We were fine. Day 3, in the
Everyone's
gutter.
patience ran out.
My patience was. I was so exhausted though, because I was up from 4 each day,
Aye.
and then you're getting there and setting up, doing it all, and it was very tiring. And you're getting home maybe at 6 at night. It was a long day.
Oh,
It was a long day, but I did it. But like that, the first day everyone was really nice and cheery.
Aye.
The second day, even better.
Aye.
Third day, just these weird people
Could
came
you
in
not have
to
just
give
had
you
a wee tent and stayed there? The journey back and forth
Ugh,
must have been.
a half an hour.
That's too much.
It's not far.
You'd had whether the people staying there. There must
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah. There was people from
been
here, we know,
converted horse boxes and stuff.
all that sort of thing. Well, the thing is, there was some people there, and they're selling next to nothing. And then
Mhm.
they go out to their brand new Sprinter van, and they live a very different life
Oh.
to, and we're carrying everything.
They're like silver surfers. They'll go. Oh, they'll just
yeah,
do the tour.
yeah. They do all that sort
I
of thing.
remember there was a pop-up shop in Dundee, and it was all bottle openers.
Right, okay.
But what it was, they'd had bits of whiskey barrel, and they'd nailed on this fucking brass bottle opener. They're all just the same.
Just the same thing.
They were getting these bottle openers from China.
yeah.
They're charging a lot of money. For
There was a bit of that.
yeah.
There was a bit of bought in. And ours isn't. It's
No, no.
handmade,
Yeah.
proper stuff. And as I would like to say, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm having a lovely sandwich. You've been watching and listening. If you join us on Patreon, you could
Oh God.
watch the whole show. Is that a cow? No, that's a motorcycle. Now, join us next time for Folk in Scotland. And that's the way it went. That was my fucking weekend.
In my hometown show, they had that the booth for the guy doing that was on stilts.
Right.
There was a stairs at the back, and there was a joke shop there, and they sold the old-fashioned stink bombs that were like ampules.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like
yeah,
the
yeah,
deep,
yeah.
kind of with Jacqueline
And,
Bissett.
and they're all blowing about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them.
So we snuck up, opened the door, and chucked the handful in, and the kind of stank of ammonia was fucking reeking.
Oh, I think I've shot myself.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us on Patreon. See the whole video, this gorgeous video, this new studio that no one wants to visit. Nobody wants to visit.
I've shown pictures of this. Everyone is impressed. They're all idiots. But
They're all
impressed.
idiots. They're impressed, but no one's visiting. So I'm going to actually start reaching out to people saying, just fucking come up.
So Chris, stop what you're doing and get that clock underway, mate.
No, don't, please.
Get
don't.
some of that dental alginate to take a nice impression of it.
God, please. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, laters.
Ta-ra, ta-ra.